Hi, this is Pastor Ted Marshall. Welcome to
Hi, this
VRM.
is Master Sergeant Debbie Alley, United States Air Force retired for Veterans Radio Ministry, VRM. VRM is a radio and internet network speaking the truth of Jesus Christ to all veterans, current military personnel, police, first responders, firefighters, EMS rescue, security services, their families, and all American patriots. VRM provides programming both in person and online for those who serve by those who have served or are now serving in our great military. If you would like to be a part of this team or need further information, please contact Pastor Ted Marshall, 813-728-2067, K9TED at earthlink.net, K9TED at earthlink.net. Website www.veteransradioministry.com. Thank you.
Thanks, Master Sergeant Debbie Alley, for the nice introduction and the information about VRM. We have a special broadcast we're doing here for you today. We're doing a radio, and we're also doing some unique things that we are going to cover today. First of all, I would like to say that this has been a special day. We've been following what's going on in Washington, D.C. We've been following uh, Kash Patel's vote and confirmation in the Senate. And we're seeing some exciting things, I feel, happening in the United States right now. We're starting to see a breath of fresh air. And we know there's been a lot of prayers about this. And I don't want to get too political, but you know what? As a veteran, I think I've got a right that I can say what's on my mind. And at a point, and I'll be very honest with you, I was pretty upset. And as a pastor, again, I was feeling some pressure, um, and seeing things taken away from us. I was seeing things that was happening through the internet and through the different things that were happening with the different platforms that we were on, are still on. But I was seeing a tap down and a diminishing of our reach that we were able to reach out there. And I maybe this was intentional, and sometimes I feel that it was, that our reach was not going out as far as it did at one time. And some way we were seeing that some of our programming and so forth was being interrupted, and there were other things. There was times when it would be I'd listen to our radio station being played, and I would see that all of a sudden there would be cuts and bumps and all kinds of different things that were happening to it that weren't from our studio. And then the reach, as I said, we have a way of seeing where the radio program is going, who's listening. And when we first started, we saw our program going around the world. We had listeners in Europe, we had listeners in Germany, we had listeners in England, we had listeners in China, we had listeners in the Philippines, we had listeners everywhere. But then something happened, and all of a sudden we weren't able to reach those different areas. But we're now reaching them again because we have different platforms that we're on that reach worldwide. And I just want to thank, first of all, our technical advisor, Drew Sinclair, for helping us get on these different platforms and get things started. But today I want to, as I was mentioning, I've been following and watching. We did a live broadcast on the air where we cut right into the studio. That was our regular program. And we were able to see live by following it through our monitors and what we're watching of what's going on. The vote for the confirmation of the new FBI director, Kash Patel. And it's exciting to be able to cover news. We actually see it live on the way we've got it set up in the studio here and be able to comment on it as it's going on. But I wanted to give me 1 second. Let me take a drink of some ice water here. We have we have a awesome God that we serve, and some of the things that we're seeing are that's happening in this world. It seems to be that we're coming back, that we're actually seeing um, a revival. And, VRM stands for Veterans Radio Ministry, but, maybe there's a part of it that should be Veterans Revival Ministry. And we're looking at maybe expounding on that a little bit, being able to go out and talk about Jesus Christ to folks out there that have heard it in the past or haven't, our veterans, our first responders, our audience, being able to fire them up, get them excited about what's happening with the Lord and how He can be part of your life. And we here at VRM are all in. We are all in to be able to bring the good word and the good news. And that's what we have for you today. We have good news. We have good news about Jesus Christ. When we see the bad things that happen, the bad people getting away with all kinds of different things, and it brought a lot of anguish for all of us. And I go back to Isaiah, and I'm in Isaiah chapter 5, and let's go to verse 20. And we're going to go 20 to 23. And I'm reading out of this happens to be the American Standard Bible, I believe. Well, this is the NIV. And let's go ahead and we would like to read this to you. Excuse the lighting's a little bit off here, so I might have to blink a little bit or get this closer to me so I can see it. But woe to those who call evil good and good evil, who put darkness for light and light for darkness, who put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Woe to those who are wise in their own eyes and clever in their own sight. Woe to those who are heroes at drinking wine. Woe to those who are wine and champions of mixing drinks, who acquit the guilty for a bribe, but deny justice to the innocent. That last one is so prophetic today. Let me read that again. Verse 23, who acquit the guilty for a bribe, but deny justice to the innocent. I see a country that's coming back. I see a country that's coming back to the truth. And it's coming back to the principles that our Bible shows us. The principles of what the Lord has for us in this life. I encourage you to seek out more information. I encourage you to start reading this book. You see, it's a love story. It's a love story of how Christ loves us so much, that God loved us so much, that He wanted us to be with Him. But things He had to do, it is a love story. From the beginning to the end. Take time, if you would. We need to be encouraged in Christ. We need to understand and encourage each other. As a church, it's your brothers and sisters that need to encourage you. They need to show you and be there in times of strife, in times of if you're hurting, in times of need, in times of fellowship, and not only in fellowship, but also in times of when you need strength, when you need to be able to be buoyed up and encouraged to accomplish a task that may be hard. every year in this time of year, within the next few months, uh, I've been training now, and I start endure training for swimming a 5K swim. And I do this to honor two things. First of all, to honor the Lord that at my age I can still swim a 5K swim, but also to honor my father. And I've talked about him before, but um, he was a frogman in World War II, and he taught me how to swim at a very young age. And after I learned how to swim, he taught me how to use fins and a mask and a snorkel. Then he taught me how to spearfish when I was a little bit older. Then we got into scuba. But he encouraged us. He encouraged me to go beyond the limit, to be able to do much better than I thought that I could. Much better than, excuse me, I have to readjust my camera here. Much better than I could ever believe possible. Jesus Christ does that for us each and every day. He encourages us to embrace Him, embrace His love, and trust that He has a plan for us, a good plan for us. It's important that we understand and know that. VRM has some exciting things that are happening. The Lord is rolling out some great things for us this year, and I'm excited to be able to be a servant of the Lord. I know I made a statement a couple months back that, not complaining, but I'm just honored to be able to serve our veterans. And one of that is one of those things that we do is if we do funerals at the National Cemetery. We're on call and we're part of the chaplains that will provide services for our fallen veterans and for our veterans that are passed. And at one point, though, I was getting a little melancholy, as you can say. Maybe I reached out to her and said, I've been doing a lot of funerals this year. Uh, I need a break. I would sure like to do some weddings. And he answers prayers. He really does. And in the past 4 days, I've done two weddings. And I do have a funeral scheduled for at the end of a week from Friday. But I just wanted to do, at one time, I wanted to do more funerals than I did weddings. And uh, I mean, more weddings. I did funerals, and he provided that for me. A wedding that we did on Valentine's Day was pretty cool. And it was at a beautiful park uh, in Lakeland, Florida. And it was probably one of the fun weddings that I've been at in a long time. People, you could tell the love was there. The folks that were getting married and the families were coming together, two different families blending in. And it was just a wonderful, wonderful time to be alive and a time to be able to, um, to minister and be part of that celebration of life and celebration of two people beginning a new life. Yesterday, we did another wedding in St. Petersburg at the beautiful pier in St. Petersburg. And I call it the first VRM wedding. And what I mean by that is that it was all VRM wedding. The bride and groom, well, the groom, Corey, of course, is part of our VRM team. And we had Drew Sinclair, who was there also, and he was going to be a witness. And of course, we had my wife and myself, and Corey and Ish and Irish, and it was just a beautiful, nice, simple little wedding. and we had dinner there at the pier, the beautiful pier. If you go on Facebook, Carol, my wife, has sent some photographs out. And, it was a wonderful day, the whole day of going over there and being with them and spending time and the beautiful sunshine, beautiful place, and two beautiful people that love each other and decided that, yes, let's do this. The Lord is encouraging us each and every day. He answers prayers each and every day. And I just want you to know that He cares about you, He loves you, and above all, take the time to know Him. Take the time to be with Him. Take the time to study His Word, and take the time to give your heart, because it is worth it. You'll be truly, truly rewarded. This is Pastor Ted. Thanks for listening, and we'll be back in touch with you soon. God bless, and remember, VRM, Veterans Radio Ministry, is here to serve you and to serve our Lord Jesus Christ. God bless. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye now.